Oops. Wait. Are we? Oh yeah. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another AOS Trash Pandas with Rob and my co-host, as usual, Carson. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm okay. You know, I'm hanging in there.
Good, good, good. Oh, I think I hear a rumbling from the meat dimension as well. Sorry, one sec.
Oh, oh.
Oh, oh, there we go. My dog hates this bit as usual every single week. It's a single piece of bread. That's odd. That's not a good sign, actually.
Yeah.
Things are not doing well here, but
Well,
I will eat it on stream. How are you, Andy?
I'm good. I've already had a yummy pork burger that I made myself.
hell
So
yeah.
I've gone through the meat dimension and now I'm out of it and I'm in the digesting food dimension.
That's
Well,
probably why I got just bread, is because you got all the pork.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
joining with us prior to his introduction is Andy Sellwood, TO extraordinaire. If you watch the channel, you'll know him from Battle Reports, and he's been on the podcast before. Thanks for joining us, Andy. You are the TO of Kipper's Melee, which is the topic du jour tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to discussing some of the lists and I think it's going to be interesting.
Andy's a longtime TO of Age of Sigmar. We have you to thank for, and I'm not really a tournament. I can't really go to tournaments, but we have you to thank for, kind of the surviving and now thriving Age of Sigmar scene in British Columbia here, or in maybe in the North Shore is probably, or not North Shore, greater Lower Mainland. How about that?
Sure.
BC?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, so because actually Kipper's Ballet, the timing for the tournament, because it's always at like mid-October. I think coming out of COVID, the timing was just good that it was one of the first tournaments that actually ran coming out of COVID, and
Right.
I took over at that point because the previous TO had stepped down.
But hadn't you done it before? Like I think you
No,
didn't. I
no,
thought you did. What's it called? What was the one out in Kelowna?
that was
Attack
Encounters
X.
Attack X. Yeah,
Yeah. Didn't you do that?
I did that one,
Okay.
but that was pre-COVID, and
Right.
then
Okay.
I
Okay.
did Wet Coast as well. That was pre-COVID.
Right. Okay. I
Yeah.
I was reading the chat while listening, and that was a bad idea. Yes, this is not. So there's two Andys, both of which have been on the channel. This is what we call regular Andy, English Andy, or one of his armies attached, Sylvaneth army, Nighthaunt Andy. But there is another Andy who has been on the channel only for 40k. We call him Chaos Andy, Evil Andy. I forget. There's probably another couple of names. But yeah, he's getting into AOS, so we're gonna have even more confusion. Yes, this Andy is also called Dr. Pickles, but hopefully he will not be displaying. As Alex put in the chat there. Thanks to everyone for joining us, by the way. I'm not changing the subject at
Yeah.
all. Did you guys see the rumor engine?
No.
Um,
Should I have
well,
a look at it now?
yeah, you can look at the. Well, okay. While you're looking it up on which you can see, by the way, I never mentioned this, but you can see them on Warhammer Community, the website. I know it's in the middle of the screen every time, but I never mentioned that, so just thought I'd do that. It's obviously a chaos thing. I mean, I don't want to state the obvious, but the haft area sort of has a like a chaos star and
Yeah,
some goo coming out of it of some kind.
that's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
which means Slanesh, of course. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. That would make
Yeah, it's
sense.
very, very chaosy.
I'm thinking, like, to be honest, I know, I don't know. I'm still gonna guess 40k though. I just feel like it's a 40k thing.
Mm. Could be another Slaves to Darkness model.
I hope that's what it is.
It could kind of be anything, like with the Dawnbringer stuff that's happening right now. Just
That's
like a
true.
one-off model. Like, it would be cool if we got another like named character for Slaves to Darkness, but we already have a lot. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I know some people were speculating Valkia, but
Oh, that would be cool.
but maybe not because it's like an undivided star. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but Alex says,
Alex says bone splitters.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
that seals it. That's definitely what it is.
yeah.
Um, right on. Well, moving right along. So we've got the Warhammer Day thing coming up. They just showed a Bretonia model for the old world, which is pretty cool. Apparently, this is resin. I know, right? Why is it resin? Like that thing is gonna be brutal. Actually, I mean, I do like how that like there's an attach point of on behind his back, so it's not like like the astrolith, the new astrolith bearer for Seraphon, which breaks even in plastic. But yeah, man, you might be able to kill someone with it, so that's cool. Yeah, Forge World moving on. I mean, I don't hate resin as much as some people for sure, but it's not a selling point, that's for sure. And then the last thing before we actually start going through the lists here is I found something on Facebook. I don't know. This some champion posted this about Skaven, and I love it. I'm just gonna read it out. I posted it in the Discord already, and if you want to join and hang out and talk about all this stuff, there's a link in the description. But someone I just was talking about playing Skaven, and they were just saying, "My friend, you must understand. You don't come to Skaven with the expectation of new models, good internal balance, or hopes of GW loving us. You come to Skaven to field rats addicted to magic, methamphetamine, while seeing how many of your own troops can explode in your turn. You come to Skaven if you want your turn to be as devastating to your army as your opponent's turn. It's not about the wins, new minis, or good rules. It's about spitting in the face of God." God damn. This person gets it. Nicholas, whoever you are. My God. Hats off to you. Friend me on Facebook or whatever. You and I, we are simpatico and a man of my own heart, clearly. So why don't we get to the... we're going to get to the topic du jour pretty quick here. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter one. We're talking about the big tournament that's on Vancouver Island. It is a golden ticket tournament. I don't know what the proper name is for that. Does anyone know?
Golden ticket tournament.
Okay, I like it.
Yep. Yep, sounds good.
Yep. I like the way you think as well, Carson.
Yeah.
So it's there's an Age of Sigmar tournament coming. Andy's going to be TOing it, as we've stated. Carson's going to be entering it. I'm going to be watching from the sidelines or, keeping track of what's going on. Anything we want to mention before we start just kind of digging into some of the lists and stuff like that?
I mean, high level, yeah, we've got 48 players. So if everybody shows up, that'll be great.
That's got to be the best turnout for Kippers ever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've gone over 40 before, but not 48. A lot of destruction. Like I couldn't, as people were emailing me their lists, I was like, oh my god, like that's another Ogre's list. That's another Uruk Warclans list. That's another Gitz list. Like I couldn't believe it.
It's just like half destruction or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll see in a minute. That's pretty cool. Yeah. BC staying true to our roots of destruction, heavy armies.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Yeah, that's a good point, Bahamut. We should. I really must get that in order. Ask them how much something costs from Forge World. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's true. So, should we just start going into the list? Is there anything else we need to mention? We're using the current. What's it called?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, the other thing I would mention is that overall, I kind of, when I was trying to think of like the factions, I kind of think of this as like maturity. Like I feel like a lot of the books coming into this have reached a nice level of maturity. Like we're not doing new Cities of Sigmar.
Right.
We're not doing anything from the Dawnbringer book, like the new one. So I think most of the factions, I think, are in a place where they've kind of stabilized. I don't know if Carson, if you agree on that, but like I don't think there'll be a lot of surprises, to be honest.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think the newest book that's going to be here is going to be Seraphon, and there's only 2 lists with it as well. One of which is Coalesce, and one of which is Starborn. So you have like a perfectly even split there as well, which is great. So
Wow,
yeah, no huge surprises.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting one faction to be like everyone be like, wow, that's that faction. You know, they just got a new book and they're gonna, you know, tear the tournament to pieces. I think it's gonna come down to good players with good list design.
I at first when I heard that you couldn't use the new cities book at Kipper's, I was kind of just sad for LP because that's his only army. You know what I mean? But knowing, like, when I first heard that, I didn't at the time realize that this is a golden ticket tournament. So, yeah, that's a good decision because, like, you know, it's obviously it's not balanced at all right now. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, we can get into it.
Cool. Okay, let's do it. I will. Boop 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 boop. Okay, there it went away, and then we're Inception time. There we go. Got rid of that. So the first list that comes up, because I'm assuming it's alphabetical order. Yep, no problem. Is Alec Hayward's Ogre Maw Tribes list.
Yep.
Oh. Is there spammers in the chat? Oh, spanners. Okay. I was like, what's going on? I'm not seeing any bots. Yeah. No more. No, God, there's more links to like whatever, some kind of website. Okay. Panic there for a second. What was I saying? Alec Hayward is up first. We're not going to go through all of them, but and we won't go through Carson's because Carson's had his list on the channel many times. If you want to know exactly how it plays, go watch a battle report. There are many. So what, actually you're in like the second most recent one too, or maybe the most recent one. I can't remember. There's another one that should be coming out on Thursday.
I am in the most recent one, yeah. So if you want to see my list, you can go to the most recent video on the channel.
Yeah. You get a full breakdown of exactly how you play it. But so I guess you could hopefully break down this list that's up right now. Alec Hayward.
Absolutely not.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, but
On principle.
I can definitely go through this. So this guy's running Ogre Maw Tribes Meat Fist, so he is my family, my brother.
That's true.
He's doing Overshadow, which basically just means that more battle line than... Oh, no, sorry. He has to have a battle line if he's alive, and then none of the enemy battle line can be alive. And the nice thing about that is that as soon as you have a Gutbuster General, which he does, which is the Tyrant, Iron Guts become battle line. So he has a group of 8 Iron Guts, a group of 4 Iron Guts, and 2 groups of 6 Gluttons, all of which are battle lines. So basically, like, at least half of his army is battle line. So it's going to be pretty hard to deny him that. He might have trouble denying you that too. I guess one thing that I see in this list, which may kind of struggle, is that he doesn't really have screens, or he may be using his Gluttons as screens, because I noticed that he's using the Ogre clubs or blunt blades with Iron Fists instead of the paired clubs. And what that means is he gets 1 less attack with his Glutton's weapons, but I think on a save roll of a 6, he deals a mortal wound back to you in melee. So maybe his intention is like putting those Gluttons up front and then kind of dealing mortal wounds back to whatever's trying to shred through it. But that's why Noblars are there. He's got to make use of those Noblars, in my opinion. Then he's got the Ale Guzzler Gargant, which I'm a little confused by, but interested to see how it does. And then, of course, he's got his Frostlord on Stonehorn with Rockmane Elder, makes a lot of sense. And then he's got a super tough Tyrant, which has Death Cheater and Fate Seeker, which just gives him a 3+ save and a 5+ ward. So, and an Arcane Tome to make him a, what's it called? Andorian Locust. So just a really tough Andorian Locust, which is pretty nice.
And I should also mention that I think he updated on BCP, so his Triumph is Bloodthirsty.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which is +1 to
wound. Reroll.
Reroll charge. Yeah.
One charge.
For some reason, Inspired is the +1 to wound.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe they like misnamed it and they just left it because like it doesn't. Anyway, cool. Yeah, that was a good breakdown. I'm assuming that the Ale Guzzler Gargant is kind of filling a spot because like at 140 points, it's not that bad, and it might just be like a thematic pick, or it might just be something like you just like I don't have other models that I would love to use, like Noblars would, traditionally be a better choice here, because he's.
Ledivicus says that it's a super cheap monster as well, which is
Yep,
pretty nice. Like
that's
140 points for a monster. Like it's great to have another monstrous action for sure.
absolutely true. Yep, you can just go up and stomp. It's like a free source of stomp, mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many are there? Are they 10 wounds or
12, I think. 12
12?
and 5 up save. So not particularly tough.
No, not
But-
tough, but I mean it's a decent amount of wounds.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. And I guess we'll skip down to we got Alex bringing his 6 Magmadroth.
So I can speak to this one because I've had my butt blasted by it twice now, and it was very painful. He's running 6 Magmadroths, and it's just like 5 Auric Rune Suns. I know he categorizes them based on like nicknames. One of them is Stompy, which just does extra stomp damage with its monster section. One of them is Flamey, which has a minimum of 5 shots with its flame breath.
Oh, neat.
One of them is Dispelly the Magma Goat, or whatever he calls it. I don't remember, but he puts like the Nullstone, carved Nullstone icon on it just to get the Unbind. And then he's got his Rune Father, which is, it can fight twice once per battle, the Axe of Grimnir. Just super, super slappy. This list is very, very slappy and like super fast. I think they go 12 inches base, and then they can get +2 with a Ruin, I'm pretty sure. So 14 inches once per game. But
When the Fire Slayers book first came out, he actually brought it on the channel against Nurgle, which was like pretty good at the time. And my God, the damage. And I know things have changed, but I was blown away by the sheer amount of damage that you get both on offense and on defense. It's pretty cool.
Alex himself admits that this, funnily enough, like this list specifically is probably going to be doing quite well against like top tables at this tournament, but against like mid tables, like it's not going to do very well, according to him anyway. Like it's going to struggle. So as long as he could just keep propelling ahead of mid tables, he's okay.
Hell yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be a front runner for coolest army.
That's true.
Yeah.
He did a lot of really cool conversions on this one.
Yeah.
And now we've got Alex Leslie with a Blades of Corn list. I'm assuming, Andy, you will take this one.
Yeah, I kind of like this one, actually. Because I tried something similar, combining the Wrath of Corn Bloodthirster with the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage.
And Scarbrand.
And Scarbrand. Because, you could essentially do with the 2 Bloodthirsters together, you could have them do a double pile in, so one piles in and the other piles in, which is really cool. So, if you charge into somebody's screen, one kills the screen, and then the other one, kind of goes in and does damage, and then Scarbrand is great. I haven't used Valkyria much. I don't know what she brings to the table. But,
I can try and bring her up.
I mean, the Slaughter Priests are good. I always like Slaughter Priests. You get an Unbind, and the prayers are obviously good. And then, Block of Blood Warriors is good. You could put Bronze Flash on them, so they're going to be hard to kill. It's a pretty standard kind of list. It's got pretty much, three fairly good hammers and maybe a good anvil, and then he's got the hex gorgeous skulls for sort of undoing magic. It's a good all-rounder list.
Keith was saying he doesn't see the Insensate Rage, and I don't either. Oh, there it is. Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage. Artifacts. Got it. Sorry. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't cool. Yeah.
And then he's got Argath, King of Blades, which turns off war saves. I mean, the Insensate Rage it's definitely unpredictable.
It really is, isn't it?
You know, if you roll 6s on your wound, then you're good. And then I think it's Baleful Lords, which I think is the one where all the bloodthirsters stay on the top bracket, other than Scarbrand. So that's kind of nice. So basically, the Insensate Rage is always, you know, doing 4 mortal wounds on 6s to wound. So.
I put it away, but here I'll see if I can bring up Valkia real quick, just so we can see what she does, because I don't know either. So that might be fun.
And he's also got Magor's Fiends, and Furies as well. So, yeah, lots of potentially good lists, good units, some fast moving. Fleshhounds are good for an unbind, and so yeah, it's got good maneuverability.
Hell yeah.
But you know, bloodthirsters are really, you know, they're easy to kill. So that's the only weakness of the list, I think, is that if those bloodthirsters get attacked and get dropped, then he's in trouble.
My thing won't pick up that screen, so I'll just say it real quick. She's a 12-inch move, 6 wounds, 3 up save, 9 bravery. She has 5 attacks, 3s and 3s, -2, 2 damage. And then during deployment, instead of setting this unit up on the battlefield, you can place it to one side. So basically, she has 9-inch deep strike. And then I think it's you pick one enemy within 10 inches of the unit, roll a dice. On a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 up, that enemy unit suffers a number of mortal wounds equal to the roll. So that's pretty good for 140 points already. She has a 5-up ward, end of sentence. And then add 3 to the bravery characteristic of other friendly bloodbound units if they are wholly within 16 inches. However, friendly bloodbound units cannot retreat while they are wholly within 16 inches. So you could kind of play with that, like going in and out of the wholly within 16, because it keeps the wholly within 16 when you can't retreat. So you could pile in like barely out, and then I don't know. She's kind of cool though.
Yeah, I mean, so it's got good anti-magic.
Yeah.
It's a good all-rounder list. He just might need to, you know, rely a bit on Scarbrand to be his main kind of reliable damage dealer.
Right on. I like it.
Yeah.
And then we've got Soulblight Gravelords, Legion of Blood. So this is kind of like the traditional, you know, what we've been seeing for the past, 6 months since the book came out. You got Neferata for her spell, obviously, really good. Necromancer, you know, they're just like good at casting spells in the hero phase, you know, and they get extra attacks and stuff when they go in. So the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon becomes a really good choice. Direwolves, skeletons, and zombies. And then they've got the one thing that I haven't seen before is the Zombie Dragon. It's not a bad pick at 260 points, especially with Neferata. You know, like if your Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon dies, you can throw that spell down on it, or you can throw down her spell on it, or you can, you know, just do that from the beginning and just send it in. It's another monster, as we've said on other things. It's got a decent amount of wounds, a reasonable, you know, it's a 4-up save. Not a bad pick. It has a shooting attack. So yeah, this is kind of like a semi-traditional list overall, but I think it looks cool, you know? Yeah.
It's mentioning the artifact that the Vampire Lord took. Cloak of Mist and Shadows basically means that it's ethereal. Like it's a 3-up ethereal save.
Yeah.
Regardless of Neferata.
That's true. That's true. So you wouldn't even put it on him. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I forgot about that. Because Roman, you know, he has a conscience and he hasn't been playing Legion of Blood lately. So he's mostly been playing other things that are, you know, more difficult and tricky to use. But yeah, I forgot all about that, because that was the whole problem with it before. Or, I mean, still, I guess, is you've got the ethereal save on it, and then Neferata gives ethereal to another unit, and you're just like, okay, good luck to you.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Yeah, and then we've got Avtar Crowder, Daughters of Cain. Xanthar Kai, I believe, is the one where they fight when they die. And I don't know too much about, it's been a while since I played Dale, but Blood Rack Shrine, Hag Queen on Cauldron, Slaughter Queen, and then you got 10 Blood Sisters, 10 Stalkers, 10 Sisters of Slaughter, and then 10 more Blood Sisters, and then the 9 Cainite Shadow Stalkers, 2,000 points on the nose. I don't know. I feel like Daughters of Cain are like underrepresented. It feels like a lot of people kind of gave up on them, even though they're really quite strong.
Yeah, they've got really easy battle tactics.
And they're
But it's nice
they're
that
killy.
there's no Marathi here.
That's true. They're also fast, they're killy, and they're reasonably durable. Just a great army in general, to be honest. I think they're going to start climbing up in the stats, but the most recent report, although it was super low, like I think it was only 6 people played the army, it had them at a lower win rate. But
Yeah.
and then we got Braden, another Corn list.
So he's playing Blood Lords, which is the one that gives blood letters mortal wounds on 5s when they charge. So I assume he's got 2 packs of 10 blood letters. So not a lot of blood letters, and then he's got Mighty Skull Crushers there to, with the 2-up save. Furies again. So Furies seem to be popular. I'm not sure what the Godsworn Hunt is, to be honest. Karanak, Pack of Blood Warriors. And Thedra Skull Scryer. Again, there's a lot of stuff here I haven't really seen much before.
Curtis is a strong player, so it's definitely...
This is Braden.
Oh, Braden. Braden's also a strong player.
Yeah.
My apologies. I forgot, because Curtis is also playing Corn, I think, in the tournament, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Corn in general, obviously. So I like the Furies though. Good screen, fast moving, only 80 points.
So he's got the Bloodletters and Wizard Finders Avantor, so I guess with the Blood Secretor they could be on like 4 attacks each or something like that, and then do mortal wounds when they charge.
Okay.
On 5s to hit, so that could be a lot of mortal wounds.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the Skull Crushers, good anvil unit. So he's got screens and anvils. It's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Right on. And then we've got
Bryce.
Bryce.
Yeah, this is so this list also I had to fix it. So the Alapexes are actually 150 each. So he's actually got 9 Alapexes at 150 each.
Yes, this is how it comes up in the app and everywhere, because you have to buy them in a pack of 450. The Bloodthirsty Shiver itself is 450, and you have to, but each shark is an individual unit.
Right.
So yeah, these are 3 separate Bloodthirsty Shivers. The reason it's that way is because of the way that the rule used to work. Yeah, this will be interesting because like Alapexes are kind of popular because they got a rule change. I don't know how good they are because they are all individual units. I kind of went through this on the podcast after the update happened. I'm really curious to see what happens. He's got a Tidecaster other than that, and a Knight Incantor allied in, and the Leviathan for to increase their save and make them more durable. It also has good shooting. It has 8 attacks. It won't be exploding on 6s like the sharks will, but double battle regiment for 2 drops, and this is.
I think it'd be hard to take down. Like those Alapexes will stick around, and killing 9 of them is going to take a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they're not that hard to kill. 8 wounds on a 4-up. The Leviathan will obviously help with that if they're within the bubble. He didn't give the Leviathan a mount trait, which he could have for free. He could have extended the range of it even with reverberating carapace. But it looks fun. Not a lot of models. You know, you're rocking what, 9, 10, 11, 12 models. 13 if you include the terrain piece. So yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. I like it. I don't know that how strong it'll be, but I'm curious. I'm not saying it's not strong. I really don't know. I haven't got a chance to play with the new rules yet. I'm still building sharks. So
Nice.
yeah.
I've been playing against a pretty similar list to this. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that the Alapexes and Bloodthirsty Shivers in general are just like extremely swingy. Because there's been times where like one shark does literally nothing, because it's only 4 attacks, right?
Yeah.
And then there are some times where I remember distinctly, this is like last night or 2 nights ago, I was playing against someone on TTS and it ended up killing 3 gluttons with just 1 shark with shooting attacks. And that's 12 wounds on a 5-up, and I'm just like, oh, okay,
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
That is not statistically average. I don't think that needs to be said.
But it can spike, right?
Yeah, it
Which
can
is kind of
spike.
the thing that you have to be afraid. And
Exploding
the thing that kind of
sixes.
sucks too is that they're
Yeah.
24-inch range shooting attacks.
Yep.
So they really don't have to engage with you at all.
24-inch range, and they move 14 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you want
Now-
stuff on objectives, and yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. He'll definitely struggle to keep things on objectives, but there is something to be said about, like, you know, just blasting everything off the table and then, you know, turn 3 onwards being on objectives after, right? And it also depends on the battle plan. Like, if you're on one where it's really spread out, like, let's say ice fields or something,
Yeah.
where you have, like, 6 objectives, like, way around the
Right.
map like this, he can really easily get 1-2
Right.
without any issue whatsoever. But it'll definitely struggle on ones where the objectives are closer to the center.
That's true. The other problem too with these is you really like are probably never unleashing hell because it's one model for attacks. You're rarely going to even all out attack because you only get 4 shots. I mean, you'll probably all out attack with this list with the Leviathan, but yeah, I mean, but it is swingy, like you said. Like if you roll, you know, a couple of 6s and get all your hits, and then you know, and if you're attacking into like something with a bad save like gluttons, then it's just like you never know, right? Another cool.
But I mean, like, I was gonna say, on average, like, assuming no minuses to hit or wound or anything like that, they're still landing just about 20 hits on you on average.
They're hitting on 3s, so it's pretty good in that way. And another thing that I was going to say too is that because they're all individual units, you can try, you know, goading out an all-out defense, and then just put everything else into that unit. But like there was a battle report where I was using sharks and a Leviathan, and I was trying to kill one of Dale's goblin heroes, 4 wounds, something stupid, like a 5 or 6 up save. And it took all of my shooting to take down one goblin. And it's just like, yeah, man. Yeah, if you have like a minus to hit in there, it's going to really mess up this army. But we'll see. Yeah, good luck to them. I love Idoneth. They're one of my favorite armies in the whole game, both to paint and to play. I'm going to be bringing some sharks onto the channel as soon as I can. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not cheering for him over my friends. I don't know Bryce, but spiritually, I feel like we're cousins or something.
Nice.
We got Cameron with another ogres list. I'm sensing a pattern here.
Yeah, there's a couple ogres players, you know, just a few.
We haven't even gotten to you, and I know there's at least 2 others that I haven't seen
There's
yet.
6 ogres players at this tournament. Which is great. It's the most represented army this tournament.
It better be. That's 1/8 of the freaking pool, man.
Yep.
Jeez.
So this guy's running Boulderhead with Slaughter of Sorcery. So basically, he just wants to kill all of your wizards. Bloodthirsty, which is reroll charge. Yeah, reroll charge.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because he has this Frostlord on Stonehorn, which has Rockbane Elder, Seed of Elvigor, which just gives him like board-wide command abilities, and he gets 1 free command point per game. And then he also made his Frostlord a priest by giving it touched by the Everwinter. And then he's got two Stonehorn Beast Riders, 2 Thunder Tusks, and then he also has a Huskard on Thunder Tusk. So I think he has 5 total Blood Vultures. And if you don't know, Blood Vultures are basically like pick a model. I think it's a model, or maybe it's a unit on the battlefield, and on a 2-up, it takes a mortal wound in the shooting phase. So he can be doing that like 5 times to something, which is really funny. Just like picking a 5-wound hero and being like, okay, boom, that guy's dead. Like just from across the battlefield.
That's kind of fun though, too, hey?
It is fun. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Is that you can just go like, really, chipping people down with that sort of stuff. And then of course it's Boulderhead. Like it's gonna smack you in the face really hard with monsters.
And it's I believe the Thunder Tusk is the one with the fight last.
Yeah, it has a yes.
Like a monstrous rampage if it charged, right? It's basically like the Stegodon, right?
Yeah.
And they're the same price now too. Is it on a 4-up or a 3-up?
I don't remember.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe Alex knows. He also plays ogres, just not in this tournament. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else to mention about this before I scroll down?
No, it's on a 3-up.
Oh, it's on a 3-up, so that's better than the Stegodon. The Stegodon's on a 4-up.
Okay.
Also, if it charged. We got Carson's list here. As mentioned, he's been on the channel with this list many times, and it is the most recent battle report. So we won't go into all of this. You guys, we don't want to bore them. I'm bored.
It's a good list.
It's a great list. It's a great yep. You guys are both in that battle report actually. It's a great battle report too because it's very swingy. There's another one coming out I think Thursday that's also very swingy and very good. It's cool. Stormcast versus Maggotkin, and some of the wildest stuff and most hilarious stuff ever. It's also got the new hard cams, which anyway. Okay, so we've got Sylvaneth Heartwood. Do you want to take this, Andy?
Yeah, so
I'm gonna grab the water.
Yeah, so he's got so the Arch Revenant, Trilord Ancient. So his general is the War Song, so he's gonna be able to do like the War Song bomb. And then because he's Heartwood, he can take Kern of Hunters as his battle line. He's got the 6-pack with Scythes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but can't you also in Heartwood don't you get to like pick 3 units and you're +1 to hit against them?
Yep.
So that's pretty cool with the great bows because the great bows are kind of not great at hitting things. So
yeah. So what you can do is keep the bows near the Arch Revenant for +1 to wound, and then get in. Use the Spiteswarm Hive to teleport in the Scythe Hunters, and that'll be his main damage dealer.
Right.
Gossameed Archers, I've tried them. They're very squishy, but yeah, they do have that. Essentially, if they get charged, they can unleash hell and then
run away.
They
don't get to do it for free though, right?
No, it's free. You just have to roll a 2-up though.
Whoa. So you and wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I think it's free. But,
okay, yeah. I mean, I've seen them. I know Sean was playing. I think he had a list with 10 of them. They're very techy, and I don't think they're easy to use. But they're cool. I think they're a little too expensive, to be honest. But because it's 210 for 5 guys on 2 wounds each, so 10 wounds, and they're like a 5-up save or something crazy.
Yeah, and you're just rolling attacks and hoping for 6s to hit.
Yeah, because against the shark list, you're like, hey, goodbye. Yeah. Thanks for bringing something easy to kill. Yeah, right on. I mean, it's a cool list though. I do like the scythes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's pretty classic.
Yeah, it really is.
He's got the battle mage for the time being. We'll give him another +2 to charge potentially. So.
Wow. Oh, cool.
Could be on +5 to charge.
Dang. Right.
Yeah. So then we've got Colin Ross with Nighthorn. So I can
taking Scarlet Doom, which is making his Blade Guys Revenant's battle line. And when he charges with Blade Guys Revenants, they do mortal wounds as kind of impact damage.
Right.
And he's got 2 20 packs, so that's going to do 20 dice on 5-ups, do mortal wounds, which is pretty strong. He's got 2 Spirit Torment, so he's going to be regenerating models every combat phase. I haven't used the Scriptor Mortis. Lady Olinda is good now at 270. She's great. And his general, so the Guardian of Souls gives the +1 to wound. If you're holding within 12 of him, and the Light Shard of the Harvest Moon, I think that's the once per game +1 attack artifact.
Okay.
So basically, as long as he can keep all his holy withins, those Blade Guys could be putting out a lot of attacks, and do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So,
It's a cool. I like this list a lot. Except for the Scriptor Mortis, even though that is a cool model as well. I agree with Keith. I think Reikenor is the coolest Nighthaunt model ever, probably. My son certainly thinks so. But yeah, very cool. Okay, and then we've got Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Maybe Carson, you're probably the most familiar with Bone Reapers.
Oh, am I? I've fought against them many times. Yeah, this is a very classic OBR. Basically, this is like trying to make the list work after the points.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I guess
it has a Gothazar Harvester in there, which I don't normally see, but
yeah, I think that's probably there for a battle tactic that they have.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, basically just to go over it real quick, we've got Arc in the Black, which is going to be great for +2 to unbind, +2 to cast, and just casting in general. Catacross, which is nice because he's Catacross. The Bone Shaper for extra healing. It's got Dark Acolyte, which is, I believe, like once per turn they can cast a spell. Or sorry, the first spell that they cast cannot be unbound.
That's cool.
Really good for
yeah,
it's like guaranteed magical dominance essentially, which is really nice.
Wow.
Artisan's Key, which that's basically like extra healing. I'm starting to wonder if this guy knows about the healing nerf. I hope so.
Ooh.
Because this guy is definitely building into it.
Right.
And then spells reinforce constructs. He's got 2 groups of Kavalos Death Riders, 6 Immortus Guard, and then the Gothazar Harvester, as Rob said. The Gothazar Harvester battle tactic is basically pick one enemy hero or monster on the battlefield. You complete this tactic if that unit is destroyed during this turn by an attack made by a friendly Gothazar Harvester. So basically, if you kill something with the Harvester, that's a battle tactic that you can get.
They're pretty slappy, so I could see you softening him up with like a Death Rider unit, and then. But yeah, I think if you're hopefully Colton knows about the FAQ to them. He probably does if he's running what's kind of a very meta list. I would assume so, but it's something to know about too if you're playing against this list as well. Yeah,
it's still going to be a really good, really slappy list.
Is. It's very cool.
Yeah.
So then we've got Dale. So Daughters of Cain. I think he does pretty well with this list. I think he's gone 4-1.
Dale's a very good player. He's been playing for a long time. I'm not calling him old. He's just been playing for a long time. Those things are unrelated. Very good player. Actually, you can see like his general list. It's been a while, but actually I guess it's pretty different now in a totally new season. But he has played similar lists on the channel before. I like how he's got them all named though. Karen from Accounts, Snaky McSnakeface, Stabatha, and RuPaul. Hi, I can't say it. Gladiatrix. Thank you.
I mean, the 30 Witch Elves are gonna, if he can get off
Mindrazor,
and then they're gonna hit hard. And then those Avatars of Cain are hard to
They're
deal with.
hard to shift, and they're pretty killy. And then the other thing too is the general has the 4-up rally, so good luck with that. You know, like you better kill them all. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One painful thing too is he's got the Heart Rune, or the Heart of Fury, sorry.
Right, for
basically
-1 damage.
Endless Invocation, which is like very good against destruction, so he's probably gonna be doing really well this tournament, given how much of that there is.
That's a great
just
point.
It's -1 damage, and it's like I think it's wholly within 12 inches of the rune, so like if he needs to be super mobile, it can be a problem, but that's pretty easy to stay inside. So
once you put it down, and then you might get extra attacks from it too. Basically, if you don't have a priest to dispel this, then good luck, because it's going to be a rough game for you.
Yeah.
That being said, if his characters are dead, like for instance the Gladiatrix are, like if you can manage to kill that, those Witch Elves become like not very good anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
because,
if you can't kill the Witch Elves and they keep coming back on a 4, although if they're in combat, if you can survive against them, there's play. You know.
Yeah.
It's certainly not. Sorry.
Yeah, the hot renders are annoying. They'll deep strike in and
get an automatic battle tactic. I can't remember what I was going to say, but it's it's a good list. Good luck to Dale, friend of the channel, obviously. And then we got Dan Sway, Dispossessed Dan, also known as Dirty Dan, playing Beasts of Chaos now. Have any of you guys played against Beasts of Chaos? I played against him on the channel, but it's been a while.
I haven't played against him for a long time. I mean, obviously he's got Bellacore,
that's so sick.
which is that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. And then Darkwalkers, I think, are the tricky ones that teleport. I'm almost positive, but I could be wrong. Doombull is a slappy mother. He's got 9 Bulgors in one unit, so that's gonna be a thing. It's so cool, and people won't have seen, but he's been converting the crap out of this army, and it's freaking cool. We've been seeing updates as he's been progressing, and it's so rad. Like, I hope you guys go up and say hi to Dan. He's from Honest Wargamer. He's been on there for a while, but hoping to get him on the channel soon.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing how this list does.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm cheering him on as well, obviously. 3 drops. And then we got Danny Hatch, also from the channel. Gloomspite King's gets for the reroll to bring things back. He's got Scragrot, despite all the nerfs. He's got a Loon Boss, despite it not being ever good on a Mangler Squig. Bless him, because I also run the Mangler Squig Loon Boss, and I think it's dope. 40 Moon Clan Stabbas, and 10 Boingratz Bounders, for some high mobility, bouncing action. And then we got 10 Loon Smasher Fanatics, a Dobby, basically, for the +1 to hit, and Gobapalooza coming in at 1970 points. This army is also insanely beautifully painted. He took years to paint it up. He's been playing this army since before it was a sparkle in someone's eye to get reimagined and get actual proper rules that work and function. Go up and say hi to him. Danny's a great guy, and beautifully painted. Then we got Darren rocking some Sylvaneth. He went with Gnarlroot this time. He's changed his Heartwood ways. Would you mind taking this one, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I actually am a fan of Gnarlroot. I like so basically, they can do a 3d6 and take the best 2 dice, cast and unbind.
That's good. Once per turn.
Yeah, once per turn. So that's good. And then the Dwindling gives you a reroll as well. Durthu's great. He's got the War Song with the bomb through the trees. The Ancient, we're seeing this build quite a lot. The Vesperal Gem, so you can just cast Throne of Vines automatically, and
then he's just healing every phase.
Yeah. Lady of Vines is cool. I've been rocking Lady of Vines. I think she's great. She gives the 5-up ward spell, which he's going to be able to get off more reliably with
3d6.
Naru.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing he may struggle with is, hammers. Durthu, is obviously his big hammer. He's got 3 Spike Rider Lancers, which can hit hard, but
Right.
6 would hit harder.
That's true.
I think his damage is going to come from mortal wounds and Durthu primarily. I think
It's got board control though, and it's very durable if you get off
Yeah.
that 5-up ward save in a bubble around Lady of Vines. You took it against Rob Taunts. I think it was I can't remember if it was a Patreon exclusive or not, but
yeah.
that was like, if you want to see the power of Lady of Vines, watch that battle report. It is horrifying if she gets
I know
that
nothing
spell.
of mine died. Like
Nothing of yours died against Slanesh. It was wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
No, I think it's a good list.
I think it's cool. Darren is
Yeah.
one of the founding members of our club with Andy and me. So yeah, good luck to him. 2,000 points on the nose, and it doesn't say how many drops, but
He's got a battle regent and a warlord.
oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's sorry, I didn't see the battle rich.
Yeah, so he's got like four or five drops, I think.
Yeah. 4, I guess. Cool. Or no, 5 is minimum, right?
Five.
And then we got Dominic Ferronato, Cities of Sigmar. Andy, you're gonna have to take this one because no one knows anything about them anymore.
It's like a blast from the past. So Hammer Hall, I think,
Yeah.
gives some benefit. So I think the Demigryph Knights become battle line.
That sounds right.
Yes, and then I think if you're in your opponent's half of the table, you get, I think, a fight twice or something like that.
Heck yeah.
I think something like that. But it's quite hitty with the Demigryph Knights, the Great Swords. He's got a big unit of Great Swords that are going to hit hard. And then he's got some nice units to kind of run around and shoot. So it's actually a really nice mixed arms list, to be honest. And he's got the Free Girl General and Griffin is strong. I actually really like this list. It's got a bit of magic, shooting, combat.
One last hurrah before the official book comes out, right?
Yeah, and he's got, I think, a block of 30 handgunners. I mean, they don't have a long range, but
They can slap
that will do some damage
for sure. Okay. And then we got Eric. He's rocking the classic. He kind of helped form this list, I think. He's been playing it for a while. It's Starborn, Fangs of Sotek. You've just got like all the mortal wound output. He hasn't played it on the channel, at least in this form. But yeah, it's the classic, the Slan, the Croak, the Starseer. It's got Raptidons for, really good battle tactics, Saurus Guard to protect Croak, and it poops out mortal wounds in many different ways. Yeah.
I played against this list, against him specifically twice last week.
Mm-hmm.
We played 2 games, and it's a list that constantly has you on edge. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If I don't roll right here, if the right things don't happen, he's gonna absolutely punish me for it, and that's kind of what this list is all about. It's just like really capitalizing on your mistakes, and he'll get mortal wound output to wherever he wants, essentially.
Yeah, the what do you call it? I played against them in a practice game for him for I think it was Northern Wastes with Zeech, and we were thinking like Zeech is a great counter against them. That is not true at all. Okay, because he's getting points in my turn. He's getting his points in for the what's it called, the star points or whatever. I don't play Starborn because but it's wild. It's very good. The old tomes are still allowed. Well, they have to, Ledivicus, because the new one is not an official tome yet, and it's an official GW tournament. So because there's that tome isn't officially out yet, you just can't use it. It's unfortunate because one of our good friends, Louis Philippe, who has been on the channel for the Cities of Sigmar review, that's all he plays. But he actually agreed. Like LP said himself, you can't play it. Like it's just crazy right now. Yeah.
But the other issue is that they're not the new
models aren't out.
New models are out, and they're not in the app either. So
they're not in the app. There's no FAQ.
If you're playing somebody who's got the new Cities of Sigmar, if you want to check their rules, you have to literally grab their book, right, and have a look at their book.
Exactly.
You can't be looking through the app before the game to find out what stuff does. And
you can look at Wahapedia, but it's not official. I mean, there's so many different reasons why. I was sad for him, like I said from the hop, but it was the right decision.
Yeah.
So we got
one issue of like FAQs should probably come out before an army can be used in a tournament, in my opinion, just because there's always things that they miss. There's always like ambiguities and stuff, and it's just.
I mean, I agree with that, but I also think that like that's why you have TOs to a certain extent. But like if that was the one thing, like it would be one thing, right? But like there's like 6 different reasons not to include it here, unfortunately. Yeah. It does suck, Bahamut, the pre-release thing. I got stuck with it with Seraphon. I'm dealing with tournaments. Anyway, Frank is playing Ogre Maw Tribes. I don't think we've seen an Ogre Maw Tribes list so far, so maybe you could handle this one, Carson, because,
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see them, but, they do pop up every once in a while.
It's true.
This guy's running Underguts, and if you're not aware of what that is, that basically gives your Lead Belchers and your Iron Blasters more rend, or 1 more rend when they're shooting. I think his Grand Strat is not correct. Hold the Line is not a valid Grand Strat right now, so I'll have to pick a different one, I'm pretty sure. I think.
I think I told him to update it, actually. Let me just check if he did.
It's all good. I think previously it was Take What's Theirs. Or no, previously it was Defend What's Ours, and then now it's Hold the Line, because I remember seeing this before. So.
Right.
But anyway, he's got a Butcher with Blood Feast, which just gives his Foot Ogres +1 melee attack. He's got another Butcher with Greasy Deluge, which...
Is it the plus?
I can never remember if that's -1 to hit against something, but let me just check real quick. It's either -1 to hit against 1 enemy unit, or all of your... I'm pretty sure that's what it is, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so he took Hold the Line as his grand strategy.
Cool.
Is that?
I think that's core book still.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not an ogre's trap. And then he's got a Slaughtermaster, which has Gabstromancer, which knows all of the ogre spells. And it has Gruesome Trophy Rack, which just gives all of the Gutbuster units wholly within 12 of it +1 to hit against heroes and monsters. Then he's got 2 groups of minimum size unit ogre gluttons. He's got 1 group of 8 lead belchers, and then another group of 4 lead belchers. 4 lead belchers and 2 iron blasters, and then 1 group of Noblars and a suffocating Gravetide. So he's kind of done like a balanced list for sure. Some people who run Underguts do like 4 iron blasters and just like absolutely whip it at you, but there's a lot of... This is going to be painful on the receiving end for sure, because those iron blasters are Ren 3 at long range. And then especially into like OBR or something, Catacross is an amazing target for iron blasters because they'll get +1 to hit from that Gruesome Trophy Rack artifact.
Yep.
Or like Bloodthirsters are really going to suffer against this as well. Like there's certain lists that this is going to do really well into, and certain lists that it won't, just because it's pretty shooting focused. So.
Although I guess the Bloodthirsters will have a ward save if they're coming in from long range, but it's still... But like in general, like it's monsters and heroes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But his grand strat needs to be fixed still.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So maybe we'll start moving through this a little quicker. I know we all needed to be a little shorter today, so maybe we'll just start talking about lists that we want to talk about. How about that?
Sure.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So we got Hillary's list. He's running Iron Rock. This is like a very traditional, Deepkin list. It doesn't have the new Alapex rules, so I don't see any reason. Hillary's a friend of ours, by the way, but I don't, love Hillary, love the list, but don't think it needs to be talked about. It's like kind of a traditional Deepkin list. It's been around. We got Legion of Night, Ian McNaughton. Does anyone want to talk about Legion of Night? No.
I haven't played much of this.
Legion of Night is basically the tricky ultra movement pop up and mess with you among the Soulblight Gravelords list. Roman actually played. Wait, did he play it on the channel or did he play it for a practice game? I can't remember. Oh no, he played it on the channel. So if you want to see how this works, it's like 2 or 3 battle reports ago, versus my Skaven. It's a really good game actually. And then we've got Quaddle's Claw, Jonathan Gladwell.
This guy's bringing 70 Saurus warriors.
Hell yeah.
Coalesced. So
It's
please don't mention to me because you're having my into 140 wounds.
Yeah, man, it's going to be hard to shift those warriors when they're on an objective or when they're in their own zone. That's a lot of warriors. It's interesting that he took clubs on the block of 20. Like, I don't hate it personally because you get the value out of them no matter how many are left. And Source Warriors aren't there to be to kill things. Though they can do that, especially if they get the charge, the +1 to wound. And I mean, I don't hate it for also the other reason that hitting on force sucks. He's got the Old Blood and 2 Pterodon Chiefs, which is really cool. So they're zipping around, just being heroes in general. And yeah, he's got the Blade of Reality, so he's a little bit killier. And then the command trait Shaman of the Chilled Lands, which is, I believe, all the spell lore from, right? Yeah, from the new lore of Frost. Cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then we've got Stormcast Eternals.
There's another error on this list actually as well.
Which one?
He updated it on the app, so he's now army type Scions of the Storm.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, Stormkeep is incorrect. Yeah,
got it.
So now we can put stuff in reserve and which makes more sense.
Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about Stormcast at this point. You know what I mean? Like they haven't changed at all. They've gotten points changes, but really, yeah. And I agree with you, Lodificus. I only put spears on there for looks, but I always run them as clubs as well. And we got Joshua Overbeck, who's playing Lumineth Realm Lords, Immetrica. So this is basically the cow list. It's now basically minus, like, it takes away 2 pips of rend. Because they got an update recently. It's no longer... So this is crazy, man. Like, I'm curious as to how this does. I'm not sure that I really like tech lists in this list, but I don't hate it either, right? Because he's, giving off like a huge bubble of ward save and stuff like that. But
I really like it. It's different.
It is different, and I agree. I love it. I like it a lot. I'm sure Keith will like it too.
It's a really interesting list because it's tough as nails. But
yes.
I think it will struggle with damage output a little bit, and it's definitely going to struggle with speed. I know that they have Speed of Hish on here, but that's going to target 1 unit only. And
exactly.
There's a lot of different things that kind of want to get into combat, stay there.
And what's it called? Valinor? That's the big cow thing, right?
Yep.
Cow
yeah,
mountain?
so it's basically got 2 big cows.
Right.
One is like the character cow, and one is just the other. Right? He has another cow, right?
I think so. No, I'm not seeing it.
Oh.
Maybe I'm blind. Like.
He's got Avalanor and then a couple of smaller heroes.
Yeah, I don't see.
I don't know why I thought he had a second cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, how could he afford it with Techless in there, hey?
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool, Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Good luck to him. I don't know Josh or Joshua.
So then we've got Kenrick with Gitz.
I don't, Kenrick's actually been on the channel. He's basically rocking a pure trolls list. you know, not much to say about it. Like Gitz is like pretty well, you know, pretty covered. He does have some bounders down below, and he's got Dobby, so
Yeah.
it looks cool. I like it, you know. Cool.
Yeah.
And then we've got Keel.
Kyle, I think.
Oh, Kyle. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's playing KO. I can't
Oh,
remember
did he?
what
Was it like an input error?
What do you mean?
Like is that like a traditional spelling of Kyle? I've never seen that before.
I think it's Kyle, but
Oh,
maybe
okay,
I'm wrong.
cool.
Yeah, so he's playing KO, Barak Morna. I can't remember what they do. But yeah, he's got good amendment article and footnote. And I think he's got the +1 to wound on one enemy model. Yeah, I really like this list actually. It's kind of, he's got good healing, potentially from the engine master with engine harness. He's got engine riggers, lots of Archnaut company, and then 2 ironclads is the big deal. So basically I think it's going to be lots of chaff and then healing from engine riggers, and then maybe I love the engine master with dirigible suit. If you remember, Rob, I was using that against Roman with his
Yeah.
so you just keep rolling until you roll a 1, and that's how many mortal wounds you do.
It's so fun. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. It's once per game, but my God, is it fun. It's so fun. Yeah. And then Alex put in the chat, if a command is issued within 12 inches on a 5+ that isn't received. Sorry. So that's pretty cool too. And Keith, he mentioned earlier about, and Keith plays Lumineth, that 10 is still, just casting on a 10 is still really strong. So that's a good point. And I have not talked to the Play On crew. I actually don't know them, Bahamut, but yeah, I'll try and get in contact with them if I can. Anyway, so then we've got Curtis. He's playing Khorne. He's playing Reapers of Vengeance. This is kind of a well-covered thing, especially if you want to know more about Khorne in general. You can watch the show we did with Matthias talking about Khorne and kind of, we did both a review of Khorne, and then we also did a more recent update with him about them. Is there anything? Do you think you want to talk about this list, Andy, or should we?
Well, I mean, very, very briefly, what's unusual, he's got a 6-pack of Mighty Skull Crushers, so if he can get those across the board, he could potentially kind of get in your way, and then you've got this big, 30 wound blob that's keeping you in your deployment zone.
Yeah.
If he puts bronze flesh on them and then somehow, uses killer instinct and other movement shenanigans to get them up the board. So, I like that variation.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just saw Curtis the other day playing Stronghold, and his bloodletters are beautiful. They're really like cool and bright, and I really like them. Actually, Bahamut, they're not even in Vancouver. They're actually like an hour away from Vancouver, and I'm not even in Vancouver, so they're like more than an hour away from me. But I'm pretty sure I know where they are. I don't want to give it away in case it's not public knowledge, but I know someone who has played on there anyway, sorry, getting a bit. So we got Kyle here, Auric War Clans. It's too bad we don't have Alex on here, but Bloodtooths makes the Gorgrunta's battle line. So that's actually no. Andy, you play Iron Jaws as well.
Yeah, I play. Yeah, I mean he's got Gordrak and a Mega Boss and Warcrusher, and actually Alex was running that.
He's running like a very similar list. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slappy.
Yeah, I know he's got Gore Grunters, he's got Brutes, he's got 2 War Chanters. Yeah, it's going to come at you fast and hit you hard. He's got Destroyer on a Mega Boss, and yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't run into either Daughters of Cain or Seraphon coalesced.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we've got Lex playing Slaves to Darkness. Carson, would you like to take this one? All right, I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but I know.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty standard host of the Ever-Chosen list. He's got Be'lakor, which is going to be a problem for a lot of people. He's got a Berkadrak, Sorcerer Lord. Block of 10 Chosen is going to chew up anything that it comes in contact with. He's also marked it Nurgle and given it the Eroding Archon to make them like super, super tough in combat. That's -1 rend and -1 to wound against them in melee.
Yeah, that's good.
10 Slanesh Knights. He's just got 2 blocks of Warriors and Nurgle. Yeah, it seems like very standard. It's going to be hard to deal with. It's just going to play the game really well without any real like tricks or shenanigans. So
dope. Andy, I think Alex said that the Ironjawz list has an invalid artifact. Oh, Griff Feather Charm. That's from last season.
Yeah, I think, did I tell him to change that?
I don't know. I'm not privy to the conversations with Kyle.
Yeah, I'm going to look at his list on VCP.
Cool.
And then,
Cool.
But yeah, I think I asked him to change it.
Another Auric War Clans. This one's a Cruel Boys list, so I can definitely talk about it. Gobsprak's cool. He's really strong this season because you can add dice to his dispels. Then he does extra. He does mortal wounds back to you, which is just such a fun mechanic that I wish that they would dip into a little bit more. And then the Killaboss on Great Nashtooth is such a steal now at 120 points. He's like 10 wounds, and I think he has a 3-up save. I think he's the only thing in the army with a 3-up save, but I can't remember for sure. Give him Arcane Tome, which is fun. And then the Snatchaboss on Sludgeraker Beast for extra mortal wounds all around him. He's got 2 Swamp Caller Shamans and another Snatchaboss on Sludgeraker. So it's going to be pooping out mortal wounds galore. He's got, the Gut Rippers to hold the line. It's Grin and Blade, so it's going to be strong against shooting. And then 2 packs of Bolt Boys. And yeah, it's a fun looking list, to be honest. I don't have the right models to run it, but it's cool. And then we got LP. He's running, it's an old cities list, so I don't think we need to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like he's running
I will just say that he went 4-1 with this at Sparkle Party.
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
He's a great player and a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah.
It's all true.
Yeah.
Cool. And he did talk about this exact list on the channel. So if you go to if you look up, I can't remember if I put LP in the title or Louis Philippe, but if you look it up, he was on here a little while ago, and he breaks it down, and he breaks down his games and everything. It's pretty cool. We got another Futhin list, or Fuethin list. I always pronounce it wrong because I don't like how it's pronounced. Deepkin. We got the Tidecaster, the King, the Smash King, of course, with Voidchill Darkness, and a Thrall Master, which is interesting because he's only got 20. I mean, I guess it's still worth it. And then he's got 2 Bloodthirsty Shivers. It's another cool list. And a Leviathan. It's interesting. Not too much to say. Again, they're all individual units, so you're getting less value out of the King. But, the shooting is going to be really strong against armies that don't have a great save, essentially. Because it does have -1 and D3 damage. Then we got Matthias. Matthias talked a lot about this list. It's been on the channel before. Is there anything you want to add about it?
Well, I mean, I would just say that, this is a list that's like taking out tournaments,
Yep.
So what else do you say?
And it's Matthias too, who's taking out tournaments before he was even playing Corn.
I mean, if he wins this one, then we may have to take this army away from him.
Yeah. After the grand finals in Georgia, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. We'll smash his toys and take his ball away. We got Mike with another Meat Fist list. Safe to say it's another Meat Fist list. Is there anything you want to call out?
Oh, it's
he's got Kragnos this time, which is kind of fun.
Oh, cool. Oh, heck yeah.
And he's given his tyrant the Brawler Guts big name, which just means that they're treated as a monster for the purposes of trampling charge. So basically, these tyrants are going to be doing mortal wounds on 3-ups whenever they charge you. So on 3d6 as well, because it's Kragnos. So I think it's on average like 11 mortal wounds or something crazy. Or no, 7 mortal wounds per tyrant whenever it charges. is just the average amount that it does, which is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna hurt a lot. That's about it.
I kind of love it. Like, I just love the combo of Kragnos with Meat Fist in Ogre Maw Tribes. It's just like, it's just a thing of beauty. You know what I mean? I don't know how strong it is, to be honest, but it's not strong. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of dope. And like, you know, he doesn't have the what's it called? Like the stone horn, right? So like, for not that many more points, you're getting a lot of extra dice on the charge. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Cool. We got Sons of Behemat.
Yeah, Nick Close. You know, he's a local and to the island, and he's lived in Vancouver, and he's played this Giants list at a lot of tournaments, and he knows how to do it. He's a good player, and I expect he'll do well.
Absolutely. It's kind of you know, it's just got 4 big fellers, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's awesome. And I also really like Idiots with Flags. I just think that's such a great, you know, whatever you call it, title for an army rule. In general, we got Nick Collins, Slaves to Darkness. Carson, did you want to talk about this as your other... No?
It seems... Yeah, it's a capitalist list, so every hero that you see is going to be a wizard. And every hero that was already a wizard except Bellicor is going to get an additional cast, which is kind of nice. Got some Chaos Warriors, Chaos Knights, yeah. It's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
It's just like a lot of, like, it's a big mix of things, and then lots of spell casting is what it's going to be. So.
It's going to hurt, and it's going to survive, basically. Yep. By the way, the chat's being hilarious. I can't call out everything I see in the chat, but if I'm smiling and looking this way, I'm usually laughing at what you guys are saying. Nick Halsall, Win or Booze, another great title.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I don't know Nick personally, but he's playing Gloomspite Gitz, which means he must be a good guy.
Yeah,
especially after what GW did.
He likes to drink beer like I do, and he has an amazing display for his army.
Hell yeah!
Kind of this tall thing with, like, he puts all his spiders on there, and
I've seen that.
Trolls. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's so cool. Bad Snatchers is interesting because it gives you reroll 1 dice. You know, you've got 2 fungoids and 2 web spinner shamans. The web spinners won't benefit from that, but you know, you're getting a lot of spell casting there, a lot of rock guts for some very tanky and also hitty things. Or sorry, and then he's got the fell waters as well. It's interesting. I like it. And yeah, wait a second. Oh, got it. Yeah, the dank hold. I missed the dank hold. I was like, I didn't see the dank hold. I was like, how are these things battle line now? Anyway, Nicola Cadeau Roussan, I guess.
Yeah, pretty standard
Stormcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stormdrake Guard and the Knight Draconis.
Yeah,
popular.
And there's some Annihilators coming down.
Yep. That's pretty cool, actually. I kind of like the regular Annihilators more, especially now, you know, just for their utility. But
yeah,
they will also slap if they have Grand Hammers. And then we've got another Kabbalist list.
This is the ringer.
This is my list.
So
you can probably ignore it.
Probably. I usually try to ignore you, but it's hard.
Yes.
And then guess what, everyone? We've got another ogre list. Also Roman.
And this list looks very familiar for some reason. Interesting, yeah. It's very similar to my list. In fact, it's the exact same. So, Roman has decided to take my exact list to the tournament, and I am all for it.
It's so cool.
Ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
Because that means there's twice the chance of ogres, you know, taking the or my list taking the tournament. So
that's true. Yeah. Roman's a strong player too.
Yes. He also seems to be really enjoying it, which is great. Like, I know, like, the reason why I like ogres is just because it's not mindless, but it's just like there's a lot less things to consider as far as tricks go. It's just like purely your positioning game and like how you allocate your hammers and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Good luck to Roman. And then Ryan, LHL.
Yeah, so he's got Big War,
Right.
which is very cool. Because obviously they've with the changes to Odd Boys, so now he's running. He's got a unit of 10, and then he's got some brutes, and then another unit of 10 Odd Boys, Gore Grunters, and then yeah. So he's got some the Breaker Boss, the Prophet, of course, Gobsprack, which is really fun. So that if he unbinds, I think if he unbinds on a 10, then you take D6 mortal wounds.
10 or more, and so with the just like the other list, with the primal dice, he's doing it more often. He can do it once per game as well. He can just do it on 3d6. But so he can do that from the hop, and then you can still add it. So if you really need to like pick off a wizard that's feeling lucky, you can do it, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, and he's taking an extra spell, I think, from his Warlord. So he's got Hand of Gork and Foot of Gork. This is a list I'll keep an eye on for sure.
Very cool. Awesome. So then we've got Scott, who's also playing Blades of Corn. I'm also noticing a pattern with Blades of Corn. Anyone else? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's got 20 packs of Bloodletters. I think he's got the points wrong on those, but otherwise, it's pretty much the same thing. But he's got Scarbrand as well, so then he's got potentially 3 hammers, and then the usual Bloodthirster. Oh, he's got Bloodthirster and Insensate Rage as the general, so that gives him potentially 4 hammers. So this is the list that, after my own heart, just like throw it all in and see if it kills stuff.
And I like the Flesh Hounds too. They're just such a great screen, like big bases, and they can do other things too. Like they're reasonably fast, and yeah, I think it's dope.
Yeah.
Bloodlords. Sylvaneth Heartwood. I mean, we kind of already talked about. Oh, it's Sean. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Is he running the double? He's got the 10 Gossamet Archers. I just saw him playing this the other day. Wow. Good on him, man. This is fun. He doesn't have any of the shooty, what do you call it? The great bows, Kurnoth Hunters. But I think that's probably better. I don't think they're very good now, especially in this season, with your lack of ability to shoot heroes, pick them off, because that's kind of what they were there for. It's really cool.
He does need to fix his branch, which I was letting him know that. So Verdant Blessing is actually the basic spell that all Sylvaneth wizards get.
Yep.
To summon a wood. So he needs to actually pick a spell for his Branch Witch.
Witch. I don't. Oh, there she is. Okay. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, everyone gets Verdant Blessing, so.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to check if he actually did that or not.
Right on.
No, he still needs to do that.
Okay. I can message him if you want on Facebook. Maybe I'll do that right now. Do you guys want to talk about the Stormcast list?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Stormcast player, but this looks like Storm Keep, so I guess he's going to focus on having everything on the table. Lots of Sequitors, Ballister. Oh, Dracolines, that's very cool. 2 units of 3 Dracolines. So lots of units, and fast moving, kind of a mixed arms list, really.
It looks pretty cool. Then we've got, I just messaged him, by the way, just before I forget. And then we got another Daughters list, which is interesting because you don't really see them very much. They're a very small percentage of the meta. And then we've got another different faction, Calibron, I guess. Yeah. And there is Morathi. Never mind. Abu. Moving on. And no hate on you, by the way. Good for you for playing daughters. It's cool to see them.
Big unit of Bloodstalkers.
Right. And then we got Taylor playing some Maggotkin. Not a lot to say about this. Like, this list has kind of, been around. Lots of Plague Bearers, which is interesting, but really cool because, it helps the Glotkin. It gives him more things to just kind of throw and get in the way. Be'lakor, which is crazy. I've never seen Be'lakor in Nurgle, but I think it's awesome. This is like really hardcore debuffing, like blue magic, like control, like you don't get to do what you want, and I think it's dope. Yeah. Anything to add, fellers? No.
Nurgle is one of those armies that I generally have pretty good success against, and I actually would collect them one day. I think they're I love the aesthetic,
They're very cool. Yeah, it depends on your kind of outlook, I think they're very Marmite, where it's like either you love them or you hate them. Either you like gross stuff or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're into poop, go for Nurgle. That's what I say.
Yeah.
They've even got a tree called the Feculent Gnarlmaw. Oh, he's got 2 of them in his terrain section. I'm assuming you only get to bring 1. You might want to message him about that.
Yeah.
Might be his subfaction or something.
Oh, maybe.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
Or actually, it might be like an artifact. Now that I think about it, though, I don't know. Keith can tell us. Just paint me. Yeah, if that's true. Can you tell us why he might have 2 Feculent Gnarlmaws, Keith, and whether or not we need to message him? And then we got Tommy, local legend, player of Ossiarch Bone Reapers for a long time now. It's a sub-faction. Thank you, Tiziano. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, this is kind of, this is not the meta list in that, like, either Immortalis Guard, but this might be the new meta list. It's what he's been playing from, for a while now. It's really good. It's got the Immortalis Guard for, like guarding stuff, but then he's also got the Mortek Guard, who are now at their new price point. Yeah, they're dope.
Yeah, I think it's strong. Catacross, even though he went up in points, is still really, really good.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I actually literally said at the beginning, he should be 500 points. Like, obviously he should be 500 points, but, I'm not sure, I'll be curious to see where Ossiarch goes from here. They can be very, what's the word? Like, overwhelming, I guess. Like, sometimes, like, if you get hit by OBR, it can just be not fun. It's just like, that wasn't the game at all. And then you can do well against them too. Like, I know, some armies do they're fine with them, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. So then we've got Zane. Zane's a good guy. I didn't know he was fighting in this, or he was playing in this tournament.
Yeah, he's got big war.
That's awesome.
So he's obviously got the Prophet. Yeah, Mega Boss, Brutes, big block of Ard Boys. And then he's got some of the new stuff. So he's got a unit of the more Grunter Gougers.
Yeah, 2 of them.
And then some Hobgrot Slitters and Iron Skulls Boys. Yeah, so it's good all-rounder list, I think.
It's true. I'm curious about the Grunta ×2 sort of thing. I wonder if that's because...
I think they're actually battle...
They're not.
Okay. So they can be reinforced.
Yeah. But like...
Yeah, once, yeah.
I'm curious as to why he's choosing to do 2 in 1 unit. Like, maybe it's so you can re-roll the charge, like, on both of them. I don't understand, like, why you would do that for the Grunta Gouger. Like, maybe Alex can tell us, but it's interesting because, like, I think you could theoretically lose the other one to Battle Shock, right? So, and then you don't get 2 kicks at the can either in terms of rolling your charges. Anyway, I'm just curious. I wasn't sure if someone might know in the chat or in the comment section. I'd be curious to hear someone's thoughts. Will Reeves, KO, well-known player, strong player.
I faced this. He's bringing Barracks on again. I've faced this twice in tournaments now. It's a very scary list for sure. Like it's
yeah.
I mean, Andy, I'm sure you'll have stuff to say about it as a KO player as well. But this it's a scary list to go against as a destruction player because it can very much so end extremely quickly because he gets strike first with basically everything and it's hitting extremely well and it can get wherever it wants to get. So it's tough. It's a scary list to go against. Huge alpha strike, basically.
Yeah, so he could put some engine riggers in his frigate and then charge with that, do some impact damage. The engine riggers get out and fight first, and then he's got all his shooting, and the engine riggers are good in combat. 5 Thunderers is going to put out a bit of damage. The
Thunderers are new, actually. He didn't have those last time.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, and he's got 2 frigates. So so he's doing that twice potentially.
2 friggin' frigates, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of bubble boys, and then Admiral, Master of Magic.
That's really interesting.
So I guess that because then
it's for the unbind. Yeah.
He gets to re-roll his unbind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting.
And then a Rune Lord allied in as well for a +2 to unbind. So yeah, he's trying to counter magic a bit too.
Not a bit. That's like leaning into it too, because if you consider that he doesn't even get full value from Master of Magic when he doesn't have a, you know what I mean? I guess he's really concerned about Seraphon and like, there's no Zeech in the tournament as far as I know, but like magic heavy armies, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I like this list. I this could do well.
I suspect it might. Will is he's a strong player. I think one of the things to remember if you're playing against it is if you have anything that does mortal wounds, if you pass across something, if the units are inside the ship, then it does it to all of them because it just has to cross the ship, which is wild.
That's kind of how I got him last time.
Oh, really?
Ships side by side, and then the Stonehorn flew over both of them.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
I made a roll for it. It was bad.
God dang. I didn't even remember that you had that. I was thinking of the hammer from what's his name? God dang, that's so funny. The Stormcast Eternal guy. Celestin Prime. That's what I was thinking of. But God dang.
Yeah, that'd be bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that does like a splash damage like that would be it's really devastating to that.
Man, I wish I was there. Like, I don't know Will, but god dang, that's so funny.
He took it really well.
Did he? Oh man, he must be a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah. So is Zane, by the way, who's in the chat. I met Zane. I actually bought my first Tyranids off of him. I bought a bunch of Gene Stealers when I got into 40k at the very end of 7th. You don't really want first turn. God dang. Oh man, I'm crying. Okay. Stoner flying over the top. Yeah. Dreamsworks nonsense. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like when it came out, we were all like, well, he's not flying. It's just like the rule in place of, and the idea is he's charging through things, right? But when they're in the sky, it makes even less sense. But yeah, it's like E.T., going in front of the moon. There's like a little ramp in front of it or something. Holy moly. That was the last list, and that was a good spot to end on. Yeah, thanks guys for coming on and talking about this. It's really exciting, golden ticket event. Anything you guys want to mention about the tournament before we close out the show?
I don't see it up.
Yeah, I mean the idea is that there'll be an open, well, no, open bar would be great. No, there'll be a bar that will be open during the event on Saturday, and so feel free to come and buy me a pint.
Heck yeah.
And you know, um,
You might want to wait until he's until the day is done, unless you're looking for a favorable ruling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks again, Andy, for running it. It's you've been doing this for a long time, and it's great for the community. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, anywhere that you want to be reached on social medias. I know you're on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Sellwood Andy, I think.
Cool.
So.
I follow you on there. I'm not very active on there, but if you want to find it, you can just go to my Twitter profile and look for followers or following, and you'll find him there for sure. Yeah. Good luck running the tournament, and good luck in the tournament, Carson. Definitely cheering you on. Thanks to everyone for watching. It was a blast. It definitely went longer than kind of planned, but it was like the lists were really interesting. I just felt like this is a particularly interesting tournament. It's crazy how much we consistently hold up this BC destruction like meta where it's like super aggressive lists. Like, I think there's a lot of fantasy players here, and that's part of what it is. It's like, because the idea of fantasy was just to kill each other, and so I think there's definitely a lot of that in the zeitgeist here. But yeah, thanks to everyone for watching, guys. Appreciate you, everyone, for hanging out in the chat and making it funny and helping us with some of the specific armies we didn't know as much about. And yeah, thanks again for Andy for coming on, and my co-host as always, Carson. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.